Hi, good evening. Steve Adler. You got a minute? I am so excited with how we're going to sign off tonight. We're going to sign off tonight in a really cool way with a really cool thing. I'm going to try to get through the numbers and stuff as quickly as I can here so that you actually get to see what it is we're signing off with tonight, which is pretty cool. And I know I've built it up a lot, but it's actually pretty cool. Let's take a look at the numbers. All right, the first chart we're looking at is the one that's on the city dashboard. We look at new admissions. We're at 13. The 7-day moving average at 15. That's kind of flat for us. Look over to the right, new cases, 169. That's 69% higher than our 7-day moving average. I think we're still seeing this thing with cases where we're having more cases, but they're people younger and less likely to end up in a hospital. Makes me really nervous about who those people, young people, might be engaging with. If it's just students that are just staying with other students, then the citywide numbers don't go up. If they start engaging with other people outside of their student groups, then it's something that could spread, and our numbers would then show that. But anyhow, otherwise the numbers are flat, and with that risk that's out there, we continue to move forward. Now is the time. Please mask and social distance and wash your hands. It's the only way that we can keep this thing going forward and continue to keep schools open and the like. Let's go ahead and look at the second dashboard we have. This shows us how many people we have in the hospitals tonight. You can see the green number. It's 85 people in the hospital. The 7-day moving average is 87. So we're below the 7-day moving average. ICUs at 27, below the 7-day moving average of 29, and ventilators at 15, below the 7-day moving average of 17. It's the first time in a while that all three of those numbers have been below the 7-day moving average. So we have cases going up. We have hospitalizations, admissions kind of staying flat. If you were to look at the UT number, we won't tonight, but it shows an R factor of almost on 1, 1.05, which means that probably more likely than not, the virus is increasing, but it's really close. It's just right on the edge. And that's where our community is right now. We have 420 people that have passed away. That's 3 more than we had yesterday. And as always, we need to remember that there's a real family tonight suffering a significant loss. Total number of cases, 29,073, which means sometime in the next week or two, we're going to go over 30,000 in total number of cases. Just wear your masks. We have been in the pandemic now for 6 months. During the pandemic, obviously, cities have been really at the front lines, giving guidance to people. Cities have been the ones moving to press to make mandatory masking, to create policies that support well-being. Some of the time, we've had to kind of drag the state along with us, but it's good to see that eventually the state has been coming. The state's focus on science and data is important and making that task a little bit easier. We are certainly trying to serve people that are dealing with the health issues, also the economic issues. The main source of support for cities is the CARES Act. That's the federal funding that then the government then sends out. A significant part of that came to cities. Most of it went to states. Obviously, we've been taking our money and using that. There's a graphic, though, that just happened on the screen. A lot of it went to the state. And Representative Donna Howard prepared this graphic. The state got about $12.84 billion. We got about $180 million from Congress, but state got 12.84. She has a graphic here that talks about where the state moved their money. Some of it went to cities and counties. Some of it went to 3.2 billion. That's the money that that came to Austin. So really separate from what went to the big cities, the state got about $9 billion. That $9 billion, you can see how they spend it, the kind of programs they put it toward: higher education. They did it for the governor's emergency relief fund, about $15 million for census funding, well below what a lot of other states spent on the census. But anyhow, that's the numbers they had. But according to Representative Howard, and I think the numbers are right, the state still has about $5.7 billion. That's money that Congress says has to be spent by the end of the year. Today, the state announced that they were sending out $170 million to help with rental assistance to keep people from turning up, experience to be on the streets, being homeless. That's a really good use for that money. We could certainly use a lot of that money. In fact, the whole state could use a lot more than the total of $170 million, especially to put us in the position where as we come out of the virus, we're going to be in a stronger place. But even with that 170, that leaves about $5.5 billion that the state has left over. Governor, if you're watching here tonight, we sure could use some of that money to help make our schools safer, to help support childcare in our cities, to support local businesses, because we have some that are just in a horrible, horrible place right now, not sure they can survive. I hope that yesterday, Governor had a big press conference. I was hoping that he was going to announce that he was going to be sending out that $5.5 billion to cities and counties across the state to help with businesses and schools and childcare. But that's not what he talked about. He talked about something else. Hey, the city council is going to meet next week because we can't wait for the feds, and we're going to try and see what we can do. My hope is we pass the enabling stuff for the SAVES resolution we passed a week ago. My hope is we end up with a fund that can be focusing on live music venues, a fund that can be focusing on childcare, a fund that can be focusing on other real important businesses in the city, so that we can try to help the things that are part of our civic infrastructure to hang on and hold on. My hope is that as part of that, we're going to be creating an economic development corporation, kind of a quasi-governmental thing that can really get involved in the real estate questions that need to be worked through with respect to these music venues and the child care in particular. With that, we now go to what I wanted you all to wait to see. This is pretty cool. You released yesterday, world premiere, an Austin song, Walk With Me, Austin, created, produced by local Austin artists. The mayor in Louisville, the city of Louisville, did a song, brought their musicians together at the very beginning of the pandemic to kind of pull their city together, and then challenged other cities to do their own song. I just couldn't stand the thought that Louisville would have a song and Austin wouldn't participate. So Diane and I reached out to Graham Reynolds, and he pulled together this incredible group of musicians and producers, Grammy Award winning, and created a song for Austin. I want you to listen to this song that has a website that goes with it, Walk With Me, Austin. You should go to that website. You should buy some of the merchandise associated with the song. You should pay to download this song, because the money from this project that's earned is going to go to support HAM. That's the Health Alliance of Austin Musicians that we talked about last week when they had HAM Day on September 15th. And phenomenal organization, part of our infrastructure that keeps us as the live music capital of the world. So it'd be great if you could go and support that. We had some wonderful donors, Yeti, Siete Foods, I Live Here, I Give Here, that helped along with 25 other people in the community, stepped forward, paid the artists that participated in this, unless they chose to donate their time, but the artists were paid. And one of the reasons we did this was to have a paying gig for our artists. But anyhow, I've talked too much. I'm going to say good night. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful, safe weekend. Wear your mask, social distance. And we're going to sign out by letting you hear Walk With Me, Austin. And I can't hear the song. So Janine, I can't hear it. Playing the song without hearing it's not going to be something that works for us. What do you think? Don't hear it? No. We may just have to give you all the link to this. Now there's sound. Can you turn up the volume? Can't really hear it. We're going to have to figure this out, and we'll play it for you before. But here it is. It's walkwithmeaustin.com. Walkwithmeaustin.com. You should go ahead and listen to that song. Give us a comment about it. Walkwithmeaustin.com. It is really, really, really cool. And with that, everybody have a good, safe weekend. Wear your masks. Take care.